Like a lot of people, I've been worried about this coronavirus pandemic and trying to figure out what to do, both out in the world and inside my own mind. If you haven't seen anything from me before, I'm Rick Hansen. I'm a senior fellow at UC Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center and also an author and clinical psychologist. When we face a threat like an illness potentially coming at us, the brain has evolved to react really strongly to that sense of threat, especially if it's moving toward us quickly, getting more intense along the way, with lots of moving pieces, and we can have a sense of helplessness, in part, like an epidemic, because the pathogens are invisible. So it's understandable if we tend to curl around ourselves and hunker down and feel immobilized. That's why it's so important to look for ways that you can feel that you're active in some effective way, if only inside your own mind, because that will help you feel better, and also it will be the foundation of an effective coping response. Of course, out in the world, we should take sensible precautions, follow the advice of experts who know what they're doing. I'm doing that myself. Meanwhile, inside ourselves, there are two kinds of things we can do that are really helpful. The first is to engage in practices that help us feel calmer, clearer, and stronger. So looking for those ways to take 3 breaths in which you're aware of the feeling of breathing while you're doing it, and helping the exhalations be as long as or even longer than the inhalations. That's a really good method. Another really good method is to tune into your own kind of feeling memory of being strong, of being gritty, determined, feisty, even a little fiery, that, you've got some moxie here. That will help you also feel more resilient. And then a third quick suggestion is to tune into the feeling of being cared about by others. Friends who care about you, maybe the memory of being in your grandmother's kitchen, maybe something deep inside that feels even beyond yourself. That sense of being supported by others and cared about by others is really important, particularly given that as human beings, we must live with others and rely on others. So it's natural to need the sense of others caring about us, or certainly including us, for our own stress management. One of the best ways we can help ourselves, and certainly one of the best ways we can help other people, at this time that tends to force us into emotional isolation, not just physical, social distancing, at this time it's really important to remember that they're scared too, that we can include other people in our heart, even as we ask them to stay home from the office. We can have compassion for the likely impacts on them directly from what we're all going through here, including the ways in which they, if not us, may know people who eventually will deal with something really serious from this situation. So we can feel that compassion for them. We can also look for ways to cooperate together. One of the great teachings of this pandemic is that much as it is the fact that we live together necessarily as humans is that which makes us vulnerable to this problem, it also means that the only way we are going to be able to solve this is through cooperating with each other, through relationship with each other. So I hope this has been useful to you. I really wish you the best, and know that through our own personal practice, which helps us find over time an increasingly unshakable core inside of resilient well-being as we face our challenges, know that as we develop ourselves in this way, we're doing it for the sake of others as well. Thank you.
We face enormous challenges with COVID-19, and like many of you, I feel uncertain and worry about the loss that people are suffering, and a lot of fear. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was teaching at UC Berkeley, and now my daughters and I and my wife are at home, like many of you, sheltering, and really facing this new disrupted life during this time. I'm Dacher Keltner. I'm a professor of psychology at UC Berkeley and faculty director at the Greater Good Science Center. For the past 25 years, I've studied the evolution and the neuroscience of what makes us happy. And I've taught this new science of happiness to literally hundreds of thousands of people. And what we've learned is that although there are profound things in our lives that we really can't control, there are actions and practices that we can take that bring us greater strength, greater closeness in our relationships, and even strengthen our immune systems and the rest of our bodies. And so in the upcoming weeks, what I'd like to do is to share videos with you, really short videos that introduce you to the key ideas in the science of happiness, and then the practices that help us find greater closeness in our relationships, better health, and better well-being. And we'll begin with a practice that really helps us be mindful. Being mindful or mindfulness is really defined as an accepting, non-judgmental awareness of what's in your mind and what's happening out in the world. It can bring you calmness and resilience and strength as we face challenges like this. I've really been impressed with the science of mindfulness and how people facing very serious stress and trauma, people like firefighters and first responders and healthcare professionals, when they practice a bit of mindfulness like we're going to do, they find calm and strength and resilience. So we're going to do a mindful breathing exercise. It's just going to take a minute. We'll do 5 breaths together, grounded in science. And if your attention drifts a bit as you do this mindful breathing exercise, just bring it back to your sensations of the breath. So what I'd like you to do is to sit upright, relax your body, put your hands perhaps on your knees. And if you like, close your eyes. And I'll now lead us through 5 breaths. So let's take a nice deep breath in, really expanding your belly and your chest as you feel the air fill your lungs. And as you breathe out, feel your abdominal muscles pull in and the breath leave your nose. Breathing in, feel the breath expand your chest and your lungs. Breathing out, pull in your stomach, follow the breath as it leaves your lungs and your nose. On this breath in, expand your chest and just relax your shoulders. You may feel sensations as you breathe out of just a relaxation and a warmth. Breathing in, this time relax your face, your brow, your jaw. Breathing out, just feel the body getting more relaxed. And on this final breath, let's just think about breathing in a relaxed way together. Breathing out, you may find body feeling a little bit more relaxed as you open your eyes. That's it. That's mindful breathing. There's a ton of science around all the ways in which this helps us handle stress. I want to thank you. I hope that as you go through your day, maybe you'll sense a little bit more mindfulness when you're outside or feeling the sun on your skin or going for a social distance walk or doing the dishes next to a family member. And I also want to wish you the best of health and happiness. I hope that the Greater Good Science Center can be a companion for you as we handle these stressful times. If you're interested in more practices like the mindful breathing exercise that we did, go to ggia.berkeley.edu, lots of free practices. And if you want to read up on this or watch videos about different facets of happiness, go to greatergood.berkeley.edu. Thank you.